Okay, welcome to Terrific Tuesday. We are talking about Nixia Red this month because we're doing a Nixia challenge. So we are going to talk specifically about Nixia today. We're going to talk about why it's so amazing, why it's good, and why you need it. It is probably one of my most favorite things that we have, simply because I can really truly tell a difference when I have drank my Nixia and when I have not. If we run out, like the other day, I ordered like several weeks ago with all of the COVID stuff, everything is like so slow getting here, and so my Nixia's like on a truck somewhere. Hopefully we'll be here very, very soon. But I can tell the difference when I run out, and I was like really nursing the last little bit that I had, hoping that my other was coming pretty quickly and it didn't get here quite enough. And so like, so I'm like in the middle of not having it all of a sudden. So it's really making me sad. But I can tell a huge difference. My body gets more sluggish. I get more tired. I'm much more lethargic. My brain does not function quite as swiftly and best of its ability. And I just don't feel as well. But when I drink it, I have a lot more energy. I feel good. And one reason it does that is simply for the fact that because of all the antioxidants and all the properties of the Nixia wolfberries and the things that it does within your body, it helps to open up all of the blood cells and helps them to move around freer, and they're not all stuck together like they get gunked up from the things that we eat and the toxins that's just in the air and the chemicals and all the things that are around us. Just the environment itself makes your oxygen flow not as well as it could be, and everything gets stuck and sticky. And so the Nixia Red actually helps to separate those blood cells and helps it to flow the way it's supposed to and function the way you need to. That is one thing I absolutely love about it, and I can tell a huge difference. It really does make a difference. So let's talk a little bit about what makes Nixia so great. So the Nixia wolfberry comes from China. It was in an area in China that in this little community, people have been shown to live over 100, like well over 100. There was a documentary that Gary Young did one time, and it was this little man. He was like 109, I think. I don't know. He was a good bit over 100. He was a doctor. He walked to his office every single day, had him a little cane, but he was pretty swift. He would walk to work and he would walk back home. And he said all the time that it was the Nixia wolfberries. He said that the wolfberries is what made him be able to function the way that he did. So they started doing a lot of research on different wolfberries, but only this particular wolfberry that came from this part of China, this particular area, was what really had all of these medicinal purposes to it. The way that the water runs off of the river and it goes into where this field is, and it gets silt all over the Nixia wolfberries, and it allows, I guess, as it's sitting there, it gets all the nutrients that it's supposed to have, and everything just soaks into these little berries. And then when they harvest them, they're able to take the whole entire fruit, not just the juice, not just the rind, and not like any particular part of it. They take the whole entire thing, and they were able to figure out how to take that entire wolfberry, squish it up, put it into the bottle to where you get all the nutrients from it, instead of having to go find a whole bunch of the wolfberries without having to, just having to eat them whole. You're able to get that whole thing within the Nixia Red, which is amazing. In the very beginning, it was just the juice, and he had to strain it out, and so it did good, but it was not at its very peak, and it was called Berry Young juice at the time. Now, after he reformulated it and was able to figure out how to get the whole entire fruit, so like when you look at the bottle, I really wish I had my bottle. When you look at the bottle, you can see about this much of it is just pureed fruit. It's all the fruit in the bottom of it, and then the rest is juice. That is what is so awesome because, as we all know, the rind or the outer part of the fruit or the vegetables are what gives us the most nutrients. So by being able to have that whole thing pureed, put into the bottle, really is amazing, and it gets a lot more nutrients into your body. This is probably, to me, probably one of the most important things, simply because there are a lot of drinks out there, a lot of things you can do to get energy, a lot of things that you can have to help your body to feel good, but they're not wholesome. They're not without any chemicals or being made in a factory or anything like that, like synthetic type materials. If you were to go look at the ingredient list on the back of some of these other things, you would have dyes and sugars and all these added things to it. When you look at the Nixia bottle, all that's in it are the fruits and the vegetables that have been ground up and put into it, plus essential oils. There is nothing else that you cannot pronounce, and it's not a whole bunch of like dyes and sugars and all of that kind of stuff. It has good, wholesome food. It's a whole food drink, and you get all of that goodness all in one. I'm going to give you a little bit of data here. Food in the United States, the way everything is grown now, there is so much of we don't get all of the nutrients like we used to. Like our grandparents would, they would eat whatever fruit, vegetable, whatever they grew, and they were getting most of those nutrients. Now we would have to eat like 8 oranges to get the same vitamin A or vitamin C that they would have gotten. You know, it's just a huge difference. There's a study from the Kushi Institute that's from 1975 to 1997. They found that the average calcium levels in 12 fresh vegetables had dropped by 27%. Iron levels had dropped 30%, and vitamin C levels had dropped by 30% as well. That's crazy. Like, in that was in 97. That was from that 22 years span. Like, I don't even know what it is now. I mean, like, that's crazy. It had dropped that much, so you weren't getting that much nutrients. Maybe we could eat some protein. You know, my kids, I have 4 that cannot have meat at all, so they're very vegetarian, and so the meat products don't, I mean, even if they could get all the nutrients from meat, it still wouldn't do them any good because they can't have the meat, but they're not getting all their nutrients from vegetables either, because they're not as good, because they're growing fruits and vegetables in the same land over and over and over and over and over again, and don't have time to replenish the nutrients in the ground. And then they're putting herbicides and all kinds of chemicals and stuff onto the ground. That's not helping anybody either. So that's one thing I'm very, very thankful. I'm able to grow my own vegetables, my own fruit, and not as much fruit, but mostly vegetables. We have a little bit of fruit. We have figs. We have an apple tree and a peach tree, but the peach tree makes peaches about this big. They're good, but they're that big. So it's not doing the greatest. It's supposed to be like big ones. It's not doing the greatest. But anyway, it's a very pretty tree anyway. But at any rate, we get to grow our vegetables, which I'm so very thankful of. So I feel like we probably have more nutrients because our land it has not had anything but cow manure on it for like 50 years. So it's very pure land, and then we can grow it the way we want to, which is putting our animal manure back on it. So we grow some very pretty vegetables. They're very, very good. But that's one good thing I enjoy, because I know where I'm getting my food. I'm not having to worry about putting more chemicals on top of what is already there. But when you're going to the store, you don't know, even if you're getting organic fruits and vegetables, you still don't really get all of the complete nutrients that could have been in it, because they're having to regrow in the same soil over and over and over again, and it's depleted, completely depleted of all the nutrients and everything. And then the cows go to eat, but they're not getting all the nutrients they need either, because they're eating off of ground that's not getting good nutrients, or that has had herbicides and chemicals put on it. So, and plus they're injected with all kinds of hormones and stuff. So we're really, the things we have choices of are not the best. So when we have something like Nixia Red, that we can have a choice and have a whole food, and it's not full of sugar, and anybody in the family can drink it, is to me a huge plus. Because I mean, like my kids, they cannot have protein, and Nixia has a lot of protein, and it's got 9 grams of protein. But because of the makeup of it, they're able to drink it, and it doesn't shoot their levels up or anything. And their bodies are actually able to function through it. Their livers do not break down the enzymes that are in and the amino acids that are in the protein. So their body would build up the protein, and it would cause brain damage. So, but the Nixia, because it's good for the liver, it's good for your whole entire body, it's able to go through, and it's liquid. So it's not like your body's really processing it. It's easy on the gut, and it's easy for it to process through your entire body, which I absolutely love. As we know that it's harder for our bodies when we get older to hold on to nutrients and to absorb the nutrients that are in everything. So the older we get, we absorb less of what we're eating all the time. So the nutrient deficiencies hurt our performance. It causes DNA damage. It makes us age faster, which also causes chronic disease and problems like that. So we have to supplement somewhere, and that's why Nixia Red is so amazing. That's why we want to make sure that we focus on that area of drinking our Nixia Red every day, because it really does help to open up all of those the blood cells and get all of the oxygen flowing between all of them. Last week I had posted a picture of it was a little video. It's not a real long video, but even if you don't have time to watch the entire video, watch the first few minutes, and you'll see where the cells are all squished together, where they're so sticky. But then once you drink the Nixia Red, within 15 minutes, the cells open up, and all of the cells are starting to flow, and things are moving a lot better. And that's what we want out of our body. That's what we need for our bodies to be able to do. Now, we have the Nixia Challenge, and so I have posted in our little group the Nixia Challenge. So if you will go through and do the Nixia Challenge, do the 30 days, it's got 2 little bonuses. One is to get the Thieves Mints. Now, this is if you had the Thieves Kit, like starter kit. It comes with little mints, little Thieves Mints, and it was saying to take a couple of those, use your hand sanitizer, and then also do the 3 cabinet challenge. Now, if you don't have the Thieves Kit and you don't have those other things on hand, that's fine. I would suggest ordering the hand sanitizer, though, because it really is amazing, and it is an OTC, which is really great. And you can use it like with the COVID stuff, like it really is amazing. I mean, y'all, 99.9% of everything is killed by thieves. Like everything. Like it is amazing. You do not have to worry about having the germs like you do with anything else. It is amazing. Plus, huge side note, all of the stuff that right now this has been kind of a concern of ours that we've talked about with COVID and all of the influx of people using Clorox and all the cruddy stuff in their homes, getting the Lysol and clean their homes. I get we have to clean our homes. I understand that. Like, yes, you need to clean your home. You need to clean it good. You need to clean your kids all the time. But Lysol and Clorox and all of those kind of things, those over-the-counter cleaners all over the place, they can cause cancer. They can cause they're endocrine disruptors. They have so many side effects. And the more we bring that into our home, the more problems we're causing. And we're not helping ourselves at all. And the other day, I was listening to them talk about an increase in women in pregnancy, what do you call it? I was going to say difficulty, which I guess that would be the same thing, just a higher risk factor in different pregnancies, that it had increased by 30% of people having difficulties with their pregnancies. And a lot of it is because of our endocrine disruptors. So many of our cleaning products have endocrine disruptors. They have estrogen, false estrogen, like not real estrogen in it, which is causing problems within our bodies, and it's overloading our systems. We're so backward with everything. And then these poor little women, these girls are getting pregnant and they're having more problems because now you've influxed your home with so much nastiness. And that's not good. So I beg you with all that is in me, if you order nothing else ever, order Thieves Cleaner. Use Thieves Cleaner. Throw out all of the other stuff in your home. I know we're at home a lot right now. Spray everything. You spray it on your kids, spray it on your pets, spray it on the door handle, spray it on the windows. Clean everything with it. Like, I have one cleaner that I clean everything with. The other day I made, I guess I did like a third of a bottle of the Thieves Cleaner because I was so, Danny had been around somebody who had been around somebody that had COVID. So it was like, so like I went through the whole house, like I made it extra strong and went through the whole house and cleaned everybody and washed sheets and washed clothes and like cleaned house, like everything. But you can make it as strong as you need it. You can make it as light as you want it to be. Like, you can do so many things with it. It's so versatile. $22 a bottle. It's going to last you forever. A capful does an 8-ounce bottle of water. If you want it to be stronger, you can, but you don't have to. 99.9% of everything it kills. Like, there's no reason to use anything else. I am begging you, begging you, please. Like, I just, there's just, it just makes me sick to think that people are using Lysol and Clorox in their home. It's not good for your lungs. It's not good for, I mean, if you really think about it, like years ago when I was using regular household cleaner, I would get the Clorox out because I loved the Clorox. I thought that was like all you needed because like it needed to be clean. Like everything, that the smell of Clorox was clean. Like I just thought that was Clorox, the smell was making it clean. But I would spend all day, like I would have to wear a mask because it hurt my nose and my throat so bad when I would clean. Like I would walk around my eyes, like it would be 2 days of my eyes watering and hurting after cleaning my house. And I would do that 2 days, like I would clean all day one day. Well, you know, by the next week, then I'm having to do that again. So 2 days out of the week, every week, I'm like all snotty and runny, eyes watering, because I'm cleaning my house with a yucky gucky gut stuff. And not knowing any different, thinking that I'm doing this great, amazing job when all I'm doing is hurting myself and hurting my kids. And I wasn't doing anybody any good whatsoever. So, I'm sorry, my soapbox. Soapbox of the day. But I beg you, go do the 3 cabinet challenge. Go look in your cabinets. I don't care if it's a food cabinet, under your kitchen counter, your bathroom counter, whichever, shampoos, cleaners, whatever. Find 3 bottles and look at the back of them and just read the label. I mean, usually they're about this long and they've got about 15 different dyes. And if it's food, it's got about 20 different sugars, and it's like a list that long. Thieves Cleaner has like 3 things. Thieves, lemon, and then something, I can't remember the name of it. But, I mean, there's like 3 things. Like, teeny tiny amount of stuff. Like, there's just nothing else you should be using. Do not use it. Like, if the list is this long, don't use it. Find the least amount of stuff that you can inside of a cleaning product, or what you're using on your hair, or what you're using on your body, or whatever. Find the least amount of ingredients, things that you can pronounce, to use on yourself and your kids in your home, everywhere. Because I mean, it's just too important. It is way too important. I mean, for people to lose babies over something so within our control, that is something we can control, of what we put in our homes, what we put in our bodies. Because, I mean, if you think about it, when you're spraying that, you're breathing that in. It's going in your lungs. It's going to the emotional center of your brain. So that's causing more problems within your brain as well. I mean, like, I think about all this writing and all the crazy stuff. I mean, my mind still has to go to, are they overloaded with toxins? Are people going a little bit nuts because we're so toxic overloaded? I mean, so many possibilities, so many things. You know, I'm not a doctor, don't know for positive, but I do know some things, and I do know what when you go and you look at all the harmful things that are in all the different products, when you look up dangers of blank and you type in one of those things, and it gives you a list of all the possibilities that it could do to your body. I mean, those are studies been done, and some things they're like, oh, I don't even know what this does because we've never really tested it, but yet it's in something that we're using every single day. Craziness. So use what you know is healthy and good, that's not going to hurt you and not going to hurt your family, and protect your home with all you've got. I mean, it's our responsibility. Our kids can't do it. Our kids don't know. They only know what we tell them. But when we know better, we do better. So now you know better. So go do better. So I love y'all. Sorry, I got a little off tangent there. But Nixia is amazing. You need it too. It is really, really the best thing that you can use for your body, for every single one of your kids, no matter how small they are, no matter how big they are. Use it, because it really does. If you drink an ounce a day, you will tide you over like it's a meal. And like, I don't have to have breakfast. I drink that. If I feel like I need something, usually around 10 o'clock, I'll drink my little Balance Complete shake, which I think is amazing. It's really good. It's vanilla and it tastes great. So I'll do that. But other than that, I don't get hungry that much. It's a very rare thing that I get hungry and want breakfast. And every now and then I just kind of like want something to eat. And if I do, I eat an apple. But most of the time, I don't even care. So, okie doke. Well, I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing day. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.